Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Back to Me podcast. This is another one of our Podapalooza episodes with some amazing humans. And let me tell you, yes, you're probably wondering, wow, Heather, how many episodes did you do? I did 5 episodes in one day. Boom, 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 boom. And probably the only reason that helped me through it was that they were all really interesting people. And today, no exception to that, is Kitti Andrews. And we talk about clearing the clutter. So she is a decluttering coach. But what's interesting is we talked about how clearing up clutter actually helps you think clearer. And doing small things will help you create big things. So she is a multiple international best-selling author, and she's known as the One Lady. She provides personalized decluttering solutions for if you're challenged with procrastination or overwhelm. And by decluttering, she helps you thrive in a calm and productive environment. So it's not like just clean it up and stay in your old habits. It's something you're going to do, habits you're going to do that will keep you that way for life. She has produced over 1,000 online videos devoted to decluttering the 5 pillars. And we do talk about the 5 pillars in the podcast. And she's the CEO at Declutter the Brain. She regularly shares her step-by-step one decluttering system via in-person and virtual stages and in national magazines. So if you're feeling like, you could clear up some of your clutter, it's not Marie Kondo. She's not asking you to do something so crazy like I did with the first time I did Marie Kondo, where I had all the clothes I owned piled up on my bed. Talk about overwhelm. She's helping you not be overwhelmed and just clear your clutter so that you can think clearer. Have a listen. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Share with someone that you think could use a little lift, a little decluttering to declutter their brain. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Love you. We'll see you again on the next episode.
Right.
Hello, my friends. Welcome. This is another Podapalooza episode. So quick and dirty, we get right into it and we get into the juicy details of how to help you have an more awesome, because you're already awesome, more awesome life. And today, my guest is Kitti Andrews. I see the sign in the background, clear the clutter, calm the chaos. It's beautiful. And so I would start with, how did you become this decluttering genius?
Well, it's funny that you say that, Heather, because my one system is ridiculously simple. However, maybe there's the genius in that simplicity. And I had a long real estate cleaning / staging career, and I was always amazed at when I would do some magic on people's houses. They would say, "Wow, it looks good, but something about it feels better," and they just couldn't put their finger on it. And a few of them would say, "I don't even want to sell my house now. I think I'm just going to stay here," right? And then that morphed into, I learned about virtual decluttering in 2017, which at that point there were only 3 other practitioners in the world, maybe 4, and I thought, I'll look into it. And it has been described as a less intrusive, more focused way to get rid of years of accumulation, which in any time over the age of 30, especially 40, you've had time to accumulate a lot of stuff. And what comes with that is ghosts from the past. Agreed? All of this stuff that you've hung on to, you've been taken from house to house to house, and I'll get to it. But that could be holding you back from other opportunities. And I have a couple of examples if we are having time.
I would love examples because, making that connection of your stuff holding you back. Not everyone's going to get there, they're going to say, she's talking crazy. So give us an give us an example.
It's crazy talk. You're from Crazy Town.
Exactly.
I'm Canadian, by the way.
Me too.
Oh, really? Okay. Uh, Sarah, for example, one of my first clients, really nice lady in Ohio, and before I go there, people come to me for their physical clutter, but they don't realize what's in behind it. So I'll preface it with that. And every client has gone through this kind of transformation. Sarah came to me, she and her husband were DIYers. They never met a craft or a project that they didn't like. So you can imagine how much stuff there was. And they had quite a farmhouse, a shed, a garage, a house. Yay. So we start with her entrance, which I normally do. And it was like you could kind of walk through it like this kind of thing. So we got the entrance done, and we're about 3 weeks into the 3 months program. And out of the blue, one day she says, I am going to start that fitness program. I've been meaning to do it. I forgot about it. And I'm going to do it now. I'm going to hire the nutritionist. I know the gym I'm going to go to. I'm going to get myself a trainer. We're going to do this. By the way, she's still doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. One time she drove her tractor to the gym because the truck broke down. Okay. Don't you love that? Is
That's
that
dedication.
or what, Heather? Right?
Yeah.
So a little while later, maybe 2, 3 weeks, again, it seems to go in 3 week cycles. I don't know why. To 3 weeks, she says, I don't want to do the physical decluttering today. I want to talk to you about something that my husband said that I'm not absolutely sure that I liked. And so she told me, and it wasn't so bad, but it's just that kind of needling remark,
Right.
not lemony fresh and uplifting, if you follow.
Yeah.
And so I said, oh, okay, this is interesting. Has he said this kind of thing to you before? And she stopped and she thought about it. And she said, you know what? Come to think of it, he's been saying that kind of thing for the 25 years of our marriage. I just never noticed it before. You see, her eyes were being opened to things around her. And the marriage had, after that, it had a few ups and downs, and I wasn't sure where it was going. And
Right.
he used to say now that she has developed the skills, not only the physical decluttering skills, but in the other 4 pillars, one of which, of course, is relationships, to deal with these things in an effective manner. And what else did Sarah do? So the gym and the relationship. Oh, yes, she is. Can you tell I like this lady? She artist. I told you she's got a million different projects, right? But her favorite was stained glass, and
Wow.
she still didn't dawdled and everything else. But she thought, oh yeah, I'll go back to stained glass for a little bit, and then I'll jump to something else. She has now, within the last not quite a year, sold her third commissioned piece that I know of. She's still a client because we keep finding more things to declutter. She finally just started to feel the confidence. Now that she was doing with her husband, she's doing with her house. She got and she's now an instructor at the local school
That's
as
amazing.
well. Right? It's just when I say that decluttering causes magic, the magic of tidying up, like for Marie Kondo.
Yes.
Kind of magic is same kind of thing though. Your whole body and the universe is opening up to you. I know I
Well,
went on.
imagine like if you have so much around and your brain is, I always tell my clients, your brain is a factory, not a warehouse. So
Correct.
somehow
Yeah.
that clutter, physical clutter in your house is taking up space in your brain.
Yeah.
So you You can't find that creativity, right? Oh, I see you're writing that one down.
I am. I love that. That's a good visual. That gives you a really, really good visual. Thank you for that.
Right? My pleasure. Run with it. I can't even remember where I got it. I might have dreamed it up one day. But it's true. I will fully admit, I did the Marie Kondo, but I didn't go all the way.
Yeah.
I did Marie Kondo up to, like, when it got, because she has her steps, like she tries to ease you into it. I'm sure you probably know this.
Mhm.
And she starts with clothes. I was like, yeah, no problem. Threw out bags and bags of clothes. Well, donated to the Salvation Army around the corner.
Mhm.
And she takes you through, and I didn't do the kitchen because that's not my domain, believe it or not. My husband does all the cooking. So he did his kitchen organizing, decluttering, and he opens his drawers and he's so happy that they're all so beautifully folded. But when it came down to more like the papers, it's like, wow, but what if I need this? It's like we hold things, it's almost, I can see the connection. Like we are holding these physical things because they have some mental significance that we think we can't let go of. Like if you let go of that, then that means that that part of your brain is gone. Do you think that's what people think?
Oh, very much so. I couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. And I was thinking of sentimental things at the same time. You're letting go of your past. Say, for example, you've been in a training program, and I look back at training programs, my very first one, and some of them are going to be useful, some aren't. And I looked at it was Suzanne Evans, and I looked at it, and it is still relevant today, and I can still help clients with it because many of my clients have gone into business for themselves, or they're starting to find their voice with public speaking. So I
Right.
can reference this, but many of these things, do I remember where I was in 2017 when I took that course? Yes. Am I really crazy about that? No. However, the content is good enough. Now, you may
Right.
look at these things and go, I don't need it, it's not relevant. And it reminds me of a time in my life that I don't really want to be reminded. Like having the wedding dress that you've been divorced from the guy for 20 years, it's stuck in the back of the closet because
Right.
there's something about it you don't want to let go, even though you know that you do want to let go, but you don't at the same
Yeah.
time, right?
It's a big step to let go of some of those big things. Give it to
Yes.
the Salvation Army. There's people looking for dresses.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I think about like those training books. You just reminded me, like I have books on I had, because I did get rid of a lot just recently. I felt when spring comes, I feel inspired.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you find that your business goes up in the spring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was inspired and I just thought, I don't need these. And also, mine is tied together with waste, you
Mm.
know, creating trash.
Mm-hmm.
You get stuck you're like, but the environment, now keeping it in your house, does it make it better than maybe sending it to the recycler? I don't know. But I hear that little song play in my head. You're an environmentalist. You can't throw things away. You have to reuse them.
Mm.
What if it's not like that?
That's
So,
right.
do you
That's
ever have that conversation with people?
they are very focused on the environment, well, most of them, and so they recycle as much as they can. And
Right.
sometimes what can happen though is I'm thinking of one lady in particular who used to really go down a rabbit hole as far as, well, where should I send it?
Oh,
Should I donate it? Should I keep it just in case I fix it? Should I even bother to shred it, or just get a couple of green garbage bags and stuff as much as possible in the green garbage bags?
right.
Sometimes just to get through that rabbit hole or past the rabbit hole, you just need to say, okay, that's fine. That's where actually a body double like me comes in handy is, all right, you're going to do this. You know, just put it in the green bags, get rid of it. Don't even think about it. Or if it's, is it paper or cardboard? An
And isn't that just a
ADHD.
form of procrastination,
Oh, yes. Yes.
right?
And overwhelm. And most of my clients are ADHD. Many entrepreneurs are, oh, yes. So that is why my one system of one room at a time, one area at a time, one thing at a time is so simple, because we can get so bogged down in all of these myriad but if I do this, then I'll have to, and if I do that, then I'll have to do this. So, and I'm tired and I'm going, I'll do it tomorrow, kind of thing,
Right.
right?
I
And
had a client once who said she would open the closet door and then close it and go sit down because just looking at her closet tired her out. I was like, wow. Now, I'm not a decluttering person. You know, when I have people who need that kind of help, I just send them out. I can't help you declutter.
right,
Go, go.
right,
I have people who can help you. You know, it's just like,
absolutely.
oh, now, were you ever cluttered?
Um, yes.
Because I find a lot of people will teach what they need to learn. So I'm always curious. Like, I know that I coach from the experience of having to figure stuff out that I coach people on. So it's like,
Mhm.
do you coach people to declutter because you had to figure out your decluttering?
Yes, and I'll explain that. Generally, I'm neat as a pin, tidy, until I start getting busy or overwhelmed in business. And
Right.
like Monday morning, usually everything is perfect. We'll take the kitchen counter, which is kind of a drop zone. It's just the way my place is laid out. And it's tidy, but it does start to pile up. I just looked at it this afternoon and went, mm-hmm. Uh, and uh, then I'll tidy it, give everything a nice little wipe, and get rid of some of the to-dos that can be done in 5 minutes.
Right.
And then the next day I feel this burst of energy. And the two are really entwined. Why? Because they are, again, ghosts that, yeah, you didn't do that, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. And your self-esteem starts to plummet.
Right.
And isn't your self-esteem, wouldn't you agree, Heather, that your self-esteem fuels everything in your life? It fuels all 5 pillars.
It fuels
And
everything. I mean, if you, and sometimes I put it under the category of, emotional wellness, but it's like if you don't feel good emotionally, then everything else just gets sucked into that black pit. And I think it's funny that so everybody's probably got this. Yours is the kitchen counter, is your barometer of your stress level.
yes, yes,
Mine is my desk.
okay.
My desk is my drop zone. And because today we're going all day on this Potapalooza, I'm looking at my desk going, wow, that's interesting. I guess I need to, at the end of today, take a bit of a break.
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't know how much time we have, but we've got, I do have a couple of tips that could help
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
listeners.
And also where people can find you.
Okay. First I'll give the tips and then we'll
Yeah.
give the value or it's mid-afternoon where I am, decision
Blah, blah,
fatigue.
blah.
Yeah, okay. First tip is, and this is for you. As a matter of fact, you spawned this.
I'm
At
taking
the
it.
end of every day, every work day, take 5 minutes and clear tidy your desk. I'm not saying do a full decluttering. Okay, just tidy it so that it's livable, so that make it look the way you want it to look when you walk in the morning. Would you rather walk in and go, "Hmm," or as we all have, "Ugh." Right?
This is my face.
Yeah, right? Like, who needs that stress? I start here at 5:30 in the morning, honey. I want it perfect. Okay.
Good Lord.
It's just the way my day rolls. And I like getting the jump on the date. And it's not even dark right now, but anyway, that's just the way that rolls. My newsletter goes out at 6, so I make sure it's good.
Yeah.
And the other tip is, so take that 5 minutes. You're winding down a little bit, make it a self-care thing, and take that 5 minutes, tidy it up. And you can always do a full declutter another time, but just tidy it so it's so the hotel maid came in for you. Okay. And the
Right.
other tip is, I had a long waitress background. Never walk from one room to the other empty-handed. In one restaurant, especially out in in Alberta, in Banff, I could it was a strict policy. You were to always have something in your hand, a salt shaker that needs refilling, or you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
I worked at the keg in Toronto.
okay, there we go. There's always something that can
There's
be
always
done.
something.
And if you do it in your own home, I tell you, yeah, I'll get it later. No, just pick it up and do it now. And little by little, just like the compound effect with Darren Hardy, that book,
Yeah. Yeah.
these little things are going to make the big difference in our lives.
That's
And I hope
amazing.
that your listeners hear this, because believe me, they say, "Oh, I've got to make grand sweeping changes." No, those will probably not work. You need to work on the little things, and they will create the big things. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Absolutely. It's always the small thing. And whenever I've done I'm taking the whole day to clean, it doesn't last because I haven't developed a habit, right?
That's right.
So I totally agree. It's the little habits. I have a friend who's a coach does the big, small steps to big changes. So small steps, small steps. And where can they find you?
At declutterthebrain.com. And I'll be sending you the link to I've got a PDF for them, down
Ooh,
7 easy steps to conquer your physical and mental clutter. And
beautiful.
that actually leads them to a newsletter if they continue on with that. We have Declutter the Brain Facebook group, and oh, my YouTube channel, Declutter the Brain.
Awesome. So if you're driving, don't write it down right now. Watch the road.
Please.
And we're going to put that in the show notes so everybody can grab that, because everybody wants tips on decluttering. And those 2 tips you gave were super simple and easy to implement immediately, right?
Yes. Yes.
And do it for a period of time and you'll notice the difference, right? And then
Absolutely.
the last thing, because I always ask my guests, they always get the last word, final word of wisdom, if you've got one.
I got this. Your clutter, whether it's physical or mental, Heather, it did not accumulate overnight. It will not go away overnight. So cut yourself some slack and take it one piece at a time.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you so much, Kitti. It was so awesome talking with you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And friends, leave us some comments and let us know how your decluttering is going. Send us some love. And if you know somebody who needs a little decluttering, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
send it over to them. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care, my friends. Peace out. I will see you again next